Tracy here with BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and today I am making a traveler's notebook out of the Proverbs 17:6 Bible Fathers Bible Journaling Kit from Bible Journaling Ministries. You can find a link to this kit below, and it includes basically the vintage characters here, these gentlemen here, and just a bunch of other ephemera. So circles with the guys' faces in them, some arrows. I've got some wordfetti for you, and tabs, and washi tape, and a margin element. And then I have this little bookmark or margin element set that you can use to put in the strip of your Bible, or you can make them as bookmarks, and we'll probably make them as bookmarks or as tags in the traveler's notebook. So I'm just looking forward to having a lot of fun. I don't have a big plan, but I've printed it out on cardstock. You can certainly print it out on paper, but I thought for the traveler's notebook I wanted to have something really sturdy. I'll be using tape, I'll be using punches, I'll be using tab punches. Just basically, you could cut them all out by hand if you want to, and I'll be doing a lot of that as well. I'll be using some glue and some tape and probably some staples as well. So not a lot of things I'll be using. Again, I don't have a plan exactly of how I'm going to do it, but I just thought it would be fun to just kind of create one with you, and hopefully it helps you or inspires you to make one for maybe the one man that you love in your life, or the many guys, your dad, your son, your husband, all of that. So I'll be making a traveler's notebook. For those of you who don't know what a traveler's notebook is, usually it goes in one of these little traveler's notebook holders, and a traveler's notebook is just an insert here that goes inside of it. So you can, it has lined paper, you can decorate it, or it doesn't even have to have lined paper, it can have anything, but it's really a little notebook that you stick inside, little carrier, and you don't have to have the carrier, I just happen to have it. So it's really just a little notebook that we're making. So let's go ahead and get started. I have some lined paper that I'll be using. This is just a pad I have. It's pretty old, and I just think it'll be great to use, and I just like to kind of use it if I can instead of going out and buying new paper. So I'm just using this because, gosh, I think it's about, I hate to say it, it's probably 10 years old. I have some paper here. This paper is from Graphic 45. I picked it up at, I think, the Tuesday morning for like $6. Super deal on that. And the reason why I like to use the pad paper is because I can always find coordinating paper in there, so I don't have to worry about coordinating my papers. So it's just like a quick, easy cheat for myself to have something that is already coordinated. So if you don't have this paper, you don't need to use this paper. You can use any paper that you have, even solid color paper. You could even print out a printable on our site and use that. So it's entirely up to you and how you want to proceed. The traveler's notebook is 11 centimeters wide by 21 centimeters tall. So if I could find my ruler here, this has, so if it's 11 centimeters wide, that would be here, then I know I need to cut my paper to be 22 inches. So let me just kind of mark it so I know where I'm cutting. And certainly I could use the guide on the cutting tool that I have. So I could just use the guide to cut it. But sometimes I like to make the mark only because when I go to cut it, sometimes I just mess up on the cut. It's like I think I know what I'm doing, and then I actually go to cut it, and then that's what happens. Okay, so if we're cutting at 22 centimeters, I'm just going to make a quick mark so I know where I'm cutting. And it won't really show up. And that way I know I'm supposed to trim that up. So that will be, so the traveler's notebook is 11 centimeters wide by 21 centimeters tall. So then 21 centimeters tall, It's nice that these are lined papers because I know where I can make a straight measurement. Of course, I'll be using my measuring cutting tool. So 21 high and 22 wide. I'll be using my Fiskars cutting tool. This is an older one. I usually use a small one, but because this is a 12 by 12, my small one doesn't really, I mean, I guess it works, but I don't know if it will work with this top in it. So, let me just cut this off, just so I have a good clean. I guess I could have just cut it off right here and been done with it. So this is going to be 21, and then I can look here on my Fiskars cutting tool here, and it says 21. So I'm at 21, which is where my mark is. So that's good. So now I know I'm cutting it in the right space. And the next one is going to be at 22 inches. So it has to be 22 centimeters, not inches. 22 centimeters. And that's exactly where my mark is, so that's good. You can see how it can be a little confusing sometimes. So now if I take this and I fold it in half, and you can use a scoring tool if you have one of those, but I don't have one in front of me right now. And that is the size of the traveler's notebook. I better make sure that's the right side, right? So I could have chose to use this as well on the outside. So let's see. And I just want to verify it's correct in terms of the size. Yep, good, we made the right cuts. Okay, perfect. So the next thing I want to do is make the inside. And we'll just pull out probably, I don't know how many sheets, maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 15, so it'll be 30 days. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Is that going to be too thick? Yeah, it'll be fine. And we'll have 30 days. Okay. We'll decide later if it's going to be too thick. It might be too thick. So I know that this, when I cut it in half, is going to be real close to the 11 centimeters when I fold it in half. So really what I'm looking to do is get the right height on it. So since our height was 21 inches, right, 21 inches, I keep saying inches, but I really mean centimeters. Since our height was 21 centimeters, then the height of this, I want it to be slightly less than 21 centimeters. So let me just cut that up for you. And I'm pretty sure I want to keep the fat on the top, but I just want to cut it off slightly because it has a little bit of the preparation there. And I do want to make sure that I do it right for all of them. There. Perfect. Okay, and now I want to cut it. So it's maybe, instead of 21 centimeters, I'll do 20 and maybe 20 and a half. Then it'll be really, maybe not, 21 and 3/4. Let's do 21 and 3/4 because I can always cut it again. It's hard to add paper back once you've cut it. So I always find it better to cut shorter than you want. I mean longer than you want. Cut it longer than you want, because then you can always cut again. But if you cut it shorter than you want, then you can't. So I'm just going to just put these in half, and we'll see what they look like inside of the paper. Inside of there, yeah. Except for I don't know how to fold, apparently, because that's not in half. There we go. Yeah, I'm not the best at folding. In fact, well, let's see. It looks good. I could have done it at 20.5 long, but you know, it's fine. So I'm just going to leave it. And let me fold these papers as well in half. This is perfect. And I'm using this paper that's been around forever, and then it's actually going to get written on because my husband will be excited about his prayer journal, his traveler notebook prayer journal. How fun. There we go. It is going to be a little bit of a thick one, but let's see. Will we be happy with that? I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I would like to staple this now. And the best way to do that is to have a binder clip so it doesn't move. And I do not have one in my drawer. But I do have a paper clip. So I'm going to paper clip it just so it doesn't move too much. Okay. And then what I like to do now is go ahead and staple it. So to staple it, I would recommend that you have some kind of cushion. And let's see if I have anything. Usually I have a piece of foam nearby, but I don't have one, so I'll use an envelope. Might as well use what you got. So I'm going to use an envelope. And I know I want to put the staples on the edge here. So I'm going to use a stapler here. And one of my awesome YouTube friends who follows us suggested that I used to use a piercing tool. I used to use a piercing tool like this. And then I would feed the staplers in between the holes. And she said, well, why don't you just open up the stapler? And I thought, well, goodness gracious, that's a good idea. So now I do that. That's why I love when you have comments, because comments help me find better ways of doing things for me too. Okay, so now that it's stapled, I can pull it up. And be careful, because these guys are a little bit pokey and it can hurt you. And that's not good when that happens. So all you want to do now is just push them down. So you want to remove them. Don't use this anymore. Just put this to the side. The reason why you don't want to fold your staples on that is because then it will give and then you won't have a flat staple and it will be harder. So I like easy. As you know, simple is the way I like it. Okay. So it's all smashed down, the staples. Okay, perfect. So now we have the foundation of the Traveler's Notebook, and I love to make my own Traveler's Notebooks. You can certainly buy them at the store for sure. They're not that expensive, but I like to make my own because I like to do a lot of things that are my own. Let me save those papers aside. So now I have to decide. Let's see. I need to decide if I'm going to use any more of this paper that's here and decide if I am going to do it, what am I going to do with it? Oh, that's cute. Wouldn't that be cute? Maybe just kind of fold that in half like this. And then that can go right here on the edge. Ooh, that is fancy. And then you won't see the staples. That's a good idea. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do now is just grab some score tape. You could use tape as well, or glue. Glue works fabulous. But I like the score tape because it's super sticky. And I don't have to wait for it to dry or grab binder clips to hold things. It will just go down nicely. So I usually use the score tape on the edges. In fact, I did not get that one close enough to the edge. So I'll do double on this side. And then I like to use it on the edges. And then I'll use just the regular tape as well, because the score tape is a little more expensive than the regular double-sided tape. So I just use it where I need it, and then I come in with the other tape that is less expensive. Oops, I pulled that right up, didn't I? Okay, so then I'm just going to pull that up. And that's okay that I pulled it up. See, I pulled it up and there's a little bit of the paper that came off, but it didn't come off on this side, so it's okay. Okay, come on. Okay, so let me make sure I have the right side up. This is the right side up. And now I just want to put that down. I just need to stick this in the middle of this, like that, like so. Okay. And you want to get it, down really evenly. So here's the thing. Even though I measured it, it didn't really go down well. And it didn't go down exactly straight. So the best way is, because I have this already lined up with a line, I can just follow that line. There we go. That's perfect. And then I can move it over and just make sure it's tight. And there we go. Perfect. I'm loving it so far. Another idea, which we might want to use later, is I can imagine maybe taking something like a little, like maybe putting something here with a brad, so that he can wind a little string around it, maybe. Usually traveler's notebooks that I have seen do not have that, but it's an option, especially if you don't have a traveler's notebook cover. So now we can go ahead and decorate it with our embellishments. And let's see what we'll do here. And I did not cut these out with a silhouette machine, so I will have to cut these out by hand. I am thinking this one is my favorite of the whole series. It has to be this one, but he looks pretty snazzy, and it says the Holy Bible in his hand, so I'm going to use him. And what I'm doing now is called fussy cutting, but let me do this first so I it's easier for me to fussy cut with small scissors as opposed to big scissors. And somebody told me that I needed to share this tip as well, because she said I do it, I just don't tell people I am doing it. So let me tell you what I'm doing. When you fussy cut, the easiest way to fussy cut is to move the cardstock that you're cutting. Instead of moving your scissors, you move the cardstock, and that makes it easier. Isn't he cool? He's very handsome. Of course, my husband's bald, but I did not make a guy that's bald, so he'll just have to have a guy that's not bald. Or maybe I'll end up giving this to my son. No, I'm not going to give it to my son. I'm going to give it to my husband. He'll like it. He'll use it more. So we have him. I like that. So, we go here. Got to use this to kind of close it a little bit while I'm working on it. That way I can see it as I work with it. And something else that I wanted to share with you was that these circles that are in these kits, you can hole punch out. So you just take a 1-inch punch and you line it up where you want to cut it, and then just pop that out like that. Let me grab this one too. You can also just cut around the circle, and you can cut it around with whatever that line is. That's where you're supposed to cut. And if you use a hole punch that's 1 inch, you won't get a line around it, which is cool as well. And these will probably put inside. But I'm still thinking about this one. I might cut the other guys out. I might decide. I have some stickers over here I can just place first to see if I like one versus the other. Oh, he's cool. I'm kind of digging him, so I'm going to cut him out instead. Okay. When I am making something that I'm going to be carrying around a lot, I like to use thicker elements like this cardstock paper. It seems to hold up a little bit better than stickers. I think. So he's super cute. I just need to fussy cut him just a little bit closer to the edge. I do love cutting things out because I find it very meditative. When I'm busy and in a hurry, then I don't like it. But I'm trying to slow down more these days. Try not to always be so busy. And calm my heart, calm my mind. And cutting these little elements is very relaxful and fun. There. Okay, he's done. Okay, yeah, he is much better. Alright, so now I have to decide what we're going to do for. I want to put him down here. I don't want a lot there. Let's see. I think I'm going to use let's see. I always like courage. So maybe I'll put remember this. I'm thinking either have courage or remember this. I'll cut them both out. Even faith would be cool. Even just courage would be awesome. But if I do remember this, it'll be good because it's a journal. I like that. So far I'm digging this so far. And now I don't exactly lay them down totally until I'm done with what I want. So sometimes I come back and I'm like, well, I want to add more to it. So I'm thinking that I think what I'm going to do is I am going to lay this down here because I know for sure I want that, but I'm not done with the cover. I'm going to go in and do some inside element work, and then I'm going to come back to the cover as I kind of think that through a little bit more. But I definitely want this here so I can go ahead and lay it down. And you can use tape, but I think I'll use glue stick for this. I'll just grab a craft mat, little craft mat here. I like to use little pieces of craft mat that, you know, when your craft mat gets broken or you accidentally cut it like I do sometimes, or it just gets old and cruddy, I just cut them up into little ones. And that makes it really easy just to grab them. Okay, he's cool. I really dig him. And the good thing about glue stick is you can have really good adhesion. If I were to do a little piece of tape, sometimes the tape comes out. Let's see. I'm going to put that right here. Alright, that's so cool. Okay, so I want to go into the inside, and I'd like to start maybe making some tags and just kind of decorating it a little bit, because I know my husband isn't going to do that. So and it would be a good idea to put a pocket here for a library card, so I might have to go get that in a bit. But let me just start with some of these, because I know I wanted to do some tags in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And what I want to do is get my trimmer, my little trimmer, baby trimmer and just cut these out. So I'm going to fast forward so you don't have to watch me cut this out. Okay, so now I have all my tags. I went and got some string and ribbon, and so here are the tags that I finished. Something to consider though, I wish I would have thought about it a little bit more, is you can use some of this stuff to do tabs. So if you wanted to do a tab instead, oh, there's some glue on this thing. Well, assuming yours isn't gummed up like mine, let me grab this real quick. You can make a tab. There's something in my machine here. There we go. Perfect. So you can make some tabs out of this as well. Or you can make tabs out of your coordinating cardstock. Up and down. So then what you could do is you could have maybe one of these tabs and grab one of these little words here. Maybe the first one, because there's one here that says pray for and praise and thank you. And these are always good for prompts. So I'm going to cut those out too. I'm thinking that I want to start off this traveler's notebook with thank you. So what I'm going to do, you can see that I kind of go around and around whenever I'm doing my own crafting time. It's kind of random. I don't just work on one thing at a time. I'll go and I'll work on a few things. So this says thank you, and I think that's going to be perfect for there. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down. Because I'm going to tell you, crafting is an art. And art is not done, you know, exactly this way. So we have the thank you. And I think the thank you is going to be the first one down. So I'm going to go ahead and tape it down with a little score tape. I probably don't need score tape for that. I'll just use regular tape. You can use glue as well. And then we have that one is the first one that goes down. And then I think I'll do one more here. Maybe pray for would be a good one. And I'll just continue to use this piece of paper that's left over because it's just, I like to use what I have. And I don't want to, I don't need to go get another anything really. So right about there, and this one will be pray for. And I know I'm going to do one that's praise, so I'm going to just cut that out while I'm doing it. This one is pray for. Okay. Let me tape that down. And that one is going to go. It's so funny because actually I think it would be better for this one to go here in the middle. That way he can flip right open to it, to who he wants to pray for. Oops, that was not done straight. It is better to use glue, because if you don't get it straight, then you won't be happy. Alright, so we'll do one more. Let's do it again. Honestly, it would be better for me just to do these all all of the tabs at the same time, but I didn't know I was going to do another one, so. So we have thank you, and then we have pray for, and then I think we're going to go with praise. So let's do that. And then he can do whatever he wants. There. So that says praise. And let's go ahead and put the glue and tape on that one. And stick that down. Maybe it'll be towards the end. So that's cool. So he's got some tabs at the top. And I think that I would like to do a library card here. So what I went and grabbed while I was finding my string was these library card envelopes. And this is just a template that we have for our library card series on the Bible Journaling website. So I'll make sure I link up to this so you have it. And I think what I want to do is I'll use, because it's blue on the inside, I'll use this. And I actually don't know if I have enough paper to accomplish this. I'm going to do my best to just use the paper that I have. But this is just a template. And all I'm going to do is just cut around the template. So you can print this template out on the cardstock if you want, or you can print it on color paper or use it plain. It's quite nice to have a template. And you can laminate it and have a template that you use all the time. You don't have to always cut them out. There we go. So, all I know that I'm supposed to do is fold this here. See? Like that. And then I'm going to fold this over. You can do it like this. You can definitely fold it like this if you want to. Or you can also fold it with these in the inside and tape them like that as well. I like to do either one, it's fine. I'll just do it this way. So I have that library card envelope thing. And I'm almost done. Like, this whole thing is like one sheet of paper and some leftover paper, which is pretty cool in terms of reusing. And then I have some library cards printed out, and I think I will use Bible study. I would use prayer requests, but since I already have pray for in here, it seems a little redundant or overkill. Now normally I print these library cards on cardstock, but today I'm just using a piece of paper because that's what I have. And because I'm just creating this with you, I didn't have a plan to begin with. So you just do the best job you can with what you have. That's awesome. That'll be perfect. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to tape these down with score tape, because remember I told you score tape was a little stronger than regular double-sided tape. So I'm going to go ahead and tape it down with some score tape here. Cool. And that's awesome. And then what I'll do is put some on the back, just so it is strong. And we'll be able to put that in here. And then what I was thinking, so this goes here. The letters are a little upside down, but you're not going to really be able to see them once we get the card pocket in there, the card in there. But what I was thinking for the card, I like that, but I'm thinking I want to do some embellishments on it. So maybe, yeah, like this, and I'll just staple it on there. Cool. So, actually that wasn't smart, but I should have done it to the left of there. The reason why I should have did it to the left of there was because when I folded it a little bit too close there. And it's hard to slip this paper in. And if I was not good, I could have accidentally had this over on this side, and then I wouldn't have been able to close the book. So it would have been better to put him on this side. Oh well. He's down now and it works good. And there's that. And I think that is good for that section. Now, I am thinking what I would like to do is just randomly do a few more embellishments and things inside. So I have my tags here. And I'd like to add, let's just add this guy here, but I would like to add some string. What color? I don't want to go pink because this is for a man, and I don't want to do too much string because then it's too much. Here we go. Here's a little baby blue. And it's cool because this baby blue, it has, kind of matches this a little bit. So that's cool. And I'm just going to add that in here. There we go. Tie it up. I'm not always good with my fingers with these little holes here. Okay, there we go. And that's going to go right here. And let's see if we can use some wordfetti. Wordfetti! So that's cool right here. In fact, I'll move it up to the top so this can poke out a little bit. And I think what I'll do is put the have courage here. I love this word fetty for the Father's Day line because it's got so many manly things. Manly things. And sometimes it's hard to find manly things for Bible journaling. Okay. And for crafting, because I don't know. Have courage. That one's not. I didn't put enough glue on that one because I think it got on my finger instead of on. There we go. There we go. Have courage. So we've got him done. And I don't want to do a lot of things hanging out because then it'll look a little more girly. I don't think he will like that. So I think I'll do, and I think I'm going to have all of the things just kind of hanging up off the top instead of adding more on the side. So I think I'll do, one more tab. One more. I really like this guy. He's sharp and he's got his Bible in his hand. So let's do this. And I can always cut off the string on the top if it's too long. Alright, so there's that. And I think I'm going to just do trust right here. While we are still here, I would like to encourage you to go to the Bible Journaling for Beginners Facebook group and be a part of our Facebook growing family. The ladies there are amazing and they care very dearly, very deeply about good walks in faith. Good walks. Not perfect walks. No perfection here, but good walks, meaning you're trying and you fall just like everybody falls, right? We all fall down, but if you need people to help you get picked back up, that's our community. If you want people to encourage you as you're doing your Bible journaling, that's our community. That's what we do. I thought I was going to be smart and cut them all at the same time, but that did not happen. Okay, let's see. I've got this here. I've got that guy there. Do I need to do one more? Maybe one more? Yes, there's always room for one more. And I want to do him kind of in the middle. I don't know if I want to do him on the same page that there's a tab. So, because I want him to be able to come in here and do something else if he wants to. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Oh, answered prayers. Pray for and then answered prayers will be right after it. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Answered prayers. Answered prayers. Answered prayers. Let me do this like this. Make it a little bit different. That's cool. See, you can do things that are different. They don't have to be the same all the time. I do see my glue is not dried. So the last thing I want to do is close that book while this glue is not dried. So I'm just wiping off any excess glue that is on top. So far we've only been using the Bible Journaling Ministries Proverbs 17:6 Fathers Bible Journaling Kit, and a piece of paper and some leftover papers and some string. It's not been a lot of product, which is good. I try to do things that you can just do without having to go to the store to get all kinds of things. I would like this to go here. And that is super cool. And let me make sure that is up like that. Perfect. Okay. So the rest of this inside, I'm going to do not any more tabs. I'll save those for a rainy day. But I think what I would like to do are embellishments on the inside. So we have these little hexagons, which are adorable. If you can call hexagons adorable. I'd call them adorable. I love hexagons. And I'm just going to fussy cut them out, because I think they're going to be super cute. In fact, ooh, let's do this. This one. I'm going to cut him out and put him in too, because I like his little dog. And I think he would be great in the prayer or in the thankful section. So I'm just going to quickly cut him out. I'm not going to be too particular about him. So cool. Awesome. And go right here. I do tend to use my vertical lines there. So I've got a little embellishment there. The glue came off on my hand. But there's that. And now I'm going to do these. And since this one says Amen, I am thinking it's going to go awesome in the prayer section. So we have, I think I'll do at least 3. I like to go in 3s. And I'm just cutting, fussy cutting. Awesome. Okay. So, pray for praise. I think that would be great in the praise section. So, let me put some glue on these, glue them down. And I'm not going to close this traveler's notebook. I'm not going to put a little hinge on it. I think I'm just going to leave it open in case I decide to buy him a traveler's notebook holder. Amen. Glory. And right here. Sweet. So we've got that. And I like him right there. And a thought. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just glue them down. And I'm almost done. I'm thinking I'm almost done with the book. So what I do when I get close to being done with the book is I open it and I start to look at it and say, is there anything else I want to do? And I remember saying that I was going to come back and do this cover, but I don't think the cover looks great as it is. I don't want to add too much more. If I add too much more, I'm going to start distracting away from the, you know, this man who's saying, remember this. So I've got my library card. I've got my embellishment here. I've got thank you. I've got have courage, pray for, answered prayers, trust, praise, and that is it. I think we're done. I love the way this traveler's notebook came out, and you know, how do you know when to stop? You know when to stop when you're happy. And I am super happy with the way this turned out. So let me just zoom in again. I'll show you real quickly so you can get a real close-up look at it. And we have, again, the library cards. Thank you. Have courage, pray for, answered prayers. That looks like it's coming up a little bit. Oh, because I just used tape, so that's fine. That's not going to come up. And trust and praise. Oh my goodness, I think he's going to absolutely love this traveler's notebook. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I would be happy to answer them for you, and be sure to visit us online at BibleJournalingMinistries.com. If you liked this video, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. That really helps us know what you like, and we can continue to make more videos that are ones that you like. All right, I hope you have a beautiful day now, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.